welcome back to Classic and Retro, and welcome to another how-to video where we show you how to do everyday jobs on your cars and save you some money potentially in garage bills. Now this series is designed for anybody who wants to work on their cars. We're hopefully going to explain things step by step, what tools you need, exactly how to do the job, photos and step-by-step instructions so you at home can do this job on your car. Now today's car is a 2013 MK7 Fiesta. Not the sort of thing we usually work on, but probably a much more common car than the 4.2 litre fire-breathing V8 supercharged cars you usually see on the channel. So today we're going to be removing the interior door panel. Now there's several reasons you do this. A problem with the window, a problem with the door handle, a problem with the mirror, if you needed to remove any of those. In our case, it's actually a problem with the interior door handle. You move the door handle, but it doesn't actually open the door. Now I'm fairly sure I know what this is. I think the small rod inside the door has fallen off, but we'll need to take it to pieces and have a look. So firstly, let's have a look what tools we need to do the job. Right, so before we get started on the job, let's have a look at the tools we're going to need today. So for this one, we're going to need a trim tool, we're going to need a really small flat bladed screwdriver, we're going to need a 10mm socket, ideally a deep socket. In this case I'm using a 3/8 ratchet, but any will do as long as it's quite a deep socket. We're using a quarter drive ratchet with a T20 and a T25, and that's all the tools you'll need to take a door card off a MK7 Fiesta. Right, so first thing to do when you're taking the door card off is just have a feel around. Sometimes there's some hidden screws. In the case of the Fiesta, pretty much everything is hidden. So what we need to do, really thin flat bladed screwdriver, and just tease this out. Be careful not to damage it. It's just clipped in, and you'll see there's a 10mm bolt hiding behind it. Then you need to remove this trim here. It's just clipped into place, so again it just pops out. So just be careful with it, work your way around. Off that comes. It slides forward and out. It's got this pin that locates it, so that's that off. Once you've got that out, you need to remove this inner door handle. So sometimes it'll just pull out, but in our case it doesn't. You just need to tease it out. Just like that. And that exposes the two Torx bits underneath, which are a T25. And then lastly, on the interior door handle, there's one cover that if you push on the front end of it, will rotate round like that and exposes a T20. So we'll undo those now, and the door card should be close to coming off. That's the T20. And there's your two T25s. There we go, that's your 110mm out. Once you're at this stage, the door card should be pretty loose. However, it's all done by a series of trim clips all the way around the inside of the door card. Sometimes you can just pop these out, but it's probably better to use a trim tool. And just work your way around carefully, pop all these out, and the door card will come off. And that is your door card off. And just as I thought, the interior handle has become disconnected. So if we were to take this door card off, what we'd need to do now is just squeeze this multi-plug and remove that one, and then squeeze that one, and then lastly one under there for your window switch. And that is the door card removed on a Ford Fiesta. As you can see, we've managed to do it without breaking any of the clips. So now we can have a look at this handle. Looks to me like it just wants clipping back into place, and then we can get this door card refitted. Right, we've refitted the cable to the interior handle. Now you might notice it's actually snapped there, which isn't ideal. Doesn't actually affect how the door operates though, so we'll go with that for now. Now we need to just reconnect the wiring. These simply push back together and you'll hear a click most of the time, which lets you know that they are connected properly. They're simply just a push fit. There you go. Yeah, that's nice. And then it's simply a matter of hooking the door card. The door card has little hooks that go over here. Simply a matter of hooking the door card back on and fitting it back up. So a little tap down. Now have a little look to make sure the trim clips are pretty much lined up before you tap it back on, because you really don't want to break these, but just a little, quite a firm is all that's required. And for the most part, that door card's now back on. What you want to do now is put the two T25s back in, the 10mm, the T20, refit the trims, and your door card's back on. So I'll come back to you when that's done. And there you have it. Removal and refitment of a MK7 Fiesta door card, and we've actually fixed the problem. The problem, as I said, was the interior handle. And as you can see, that now works. Now in our case that would have been an MOT fail. This car is due for its MOT, so we needed to get that sorted, so I'm sure it'll be fine now. If you've watched this video and others, thank you very much. I'm starting a new series of how-to videos, hopefully helping you at home be able to be more confident in working on your cars. You know, save yourself some money, save yourself some time. If you were to take that to a garage, you know, they would want the car for a few hours, they would charge you. I'm unsure of the cost, but what I can tell you is that job took 40 minutes. So in my case, there was no point taking that to a mechanic. It is a job you can do at home, basic tools, very, very careful. I would say out of 10, this job's probably a, I don't know, maybe a 4 or a 5. I think you just have to be a bit careful because you're working with plastic. You don't want to snap anything, you don't want to mark any of your interior. But in terms of technical, quite an easy job, and one I do think anyone could do. So yeah, if you've liked this video, please consider subscribing. It does help the channel out. We're going a slightly different direction with some of the how-to videos, but I want to give back to people who watch my videos. I want you to feel more confident working on your own cars. I want you to consider buying a project. You know, it's always cool. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.